So when we think about how we're sharing leadership, we have to think about, how many hours does our staff work? And do we have totally unrealistic expectations of the work that they can accomplish in the time they're being paid for? So if you're quarter time or half time, the idea of sharing leadership with a committee needs to really be carefully considered and carefully thought out and discussed, because they may have to take a greater share of the work than in a congregation where the professional staff has more hours, or there's an assistant, or there's some other structure to support getting the work done. We may also want to think about, what is our staff really good at? And that's a wonderful thing if you can create a committee leader partnership in which you say, this is not really my strength. This is not something that I really enjoy doing, and I know that there are others on the committee who do. What a great way to again, mission focus. It's not about me. It's not about who gets credit. It's not about people, kind of me ascending and being the one who knows it all. It's really about getting the work done and focusing on working a mission together. And so there may be times when we shift around responsibilities because we realize that it's time for you to lead and me to follow. We also may want to think about the system that we're in and what does the system, how the leadership staff relationship is valued in a congregational culture, or what has the history been. You may come in where it has been a very formal relationship and that doesn't feel comfortable to you. You may come into a new system and it just seems like no matter what you do, conflict always seems to come to the table, and it's just because that's the history and that's the way the culture has created this relationship, this template for a relationship, and you're just stepping into an existing sort of template. This is another huge flashpoint. Whose job is it to make decisions? And again, there's no one answer. There's no one way. Good communication, being in healthy covenantal relationships, being able to talk about difficult issues, being willing to engage and to hear perspectives around a decision, particularly if there's some controversy or if it's a particularly big or difficult decision. There are ways, there are, structures for you to think about how you make decisions. This is just one example of, there's dozens out there if you get online and Google. But, there are different styles of how to make decisions. And no one person makes decisions the same way. No one group makes decisions the same way. There are times when, you say, I don't really care, I delegate to you, I trust you to make the decision around what kind of food to serve at the Halloween party. There may be decisions around, maybe something around safety, where the religious educator has the training, has the expertise. This is the liability here, the potential for liability, and the religious educator just says, I know it's expensive, but this is something we have to do. So you get a little autocratic in saying we're going to do background checks. And all the other decisions are, somewhere in between. But just sort of understanding that there are different ways of making decisions, different, again, back to that thing. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. occasionally somebody says, well, I don't have an RE committee, or I don't want to have an RE committee, and we just want to blow it up and start over again. What are some alternatives? Well, you can have some standing ministry teams. You could have, some congregations will have like an OWL team, or a state congregations team. Or they may have some folks who gather together strictly to work on events. They're really about hospitality. And so those things are sort of taken off or set apart from the regular work of the Religious Education Committee. You may want to use ad hoc working groups. If you haven't used Tapestry of Faith, I hope everybody's used Tapestry of Faith at this point. It's been around for a while and it's fabulous. But if you haven't used Tapestry of Faith, maybe you create an ad hoc working group just to help people gain expertise, gain experience, and feel comfortable with those curriculums in the classroom. Or maybe you're having an ordination or a building dedication, and you want to create just a working group to do that. You may have class liaisons. There are other different ways that you can engage besides going through the Religious Education Committee. And maybe you have others.